Well, what is up, YouTube? It's been a really long time. I apologize, life got in the way, but I'm still keeping some of my animals, some of my reptiles, and I am way past due for an update. There's a lot to get into, but right now we're just going to touch base on what I currently have in my collection, or my pets, whatever you want to call them. So I still have my stock tank pond. I really don't do much to it. I fill up the water once it evaporates out and gets too low. Just put some new guppies in here. The neighbor's cats have done a number. Have a huge clump of Java moss that's starting to help keep some of the fish from getting snatched by the cats. And our now 4-year-old, if you remember him from some of the earlier videos, picked out a koi fish. And now we have like a 5-inch koi in here. I understand this is too small for a koi. My mom has a 1-acre pond that we're gonna move the koi to once he gets a little bit bigger. He's in here for now, he's fine. So anyway, this thing's doing fine. This Lowe's Home Depot lily plant keeps coming back. I mean, this is such low maintenance. It's probably about time I clean the filter. It's been about a year, but it's a 1,200 gallon filter, and my water parameters always look to be pretty good, so I haven't worried about it too much. But we're gonna clean that filter here soon. What you haven't seen, since I haven't made a video in so long, is what I'm keeping in here. I built this outdoor pen. It's about 16 feet long and a little over 4 feet at the widest point. Kind of necks down back there at about 3 feet or a little over. You got a little bin over there for a shady area, banana plants, spineless cactus, and this houses these guys. So I think it was last January, I ended up at a local reptile show, and they had these two beautiful adult redfoot pair, and they made me a really good deal on them, so I bought them. And then after that, a family friend had owned this subadult for a long time and was looking to find her a new home, and I took her in. She's got a little bit bumpy shell. Didn't exactly have the right setup, wasn't being fed the right foods, but she was well loved nonetheless. So she isn't too much smaller than my adults. That's my male, it's my female, and she's also a female. And so I threw her in. There hasn't been any bullying. Everybody gets along great. I'd like to get another adult female and adult male eventually. But oh, that's one of their little inhabitants, a little frog. But right now, that's these guys are my main focus. I mean, I love these guys. I've gotten eggs once so far. They did not turn out to be fertile, or I didn't do a good job of incubating them. But so far, no more eggs. We've had a ton of rain here in Houston. If anybody's been watching the news, I got ants everywhere. It's driving me crazy. They've been a constant problem. But this pen's working out great. This winter, they'll go into the garage, and I'll do a temporary winter setup for them. Box turtles. If you remember, I had Bugs, the one-eyed, three-toed rescue, native to the state here. But I also had 5 ornate box turtles that I was having some, they were having some illnesses. And I just could not keep them healthy, vet trips, medicines, everything. And I ended up giving them to somebody who's a little bit more experienced than I. So Bugs is my lone box turtle. He's back out here in his, summer enclosure. I was planning on letting him hibernate out here, but the ants have been so bad. I'm thinking about setting him up in the garage also for the winter. And, just tearing this down and trying to get rid of all the ants. Mixing in a whole lot of diatomaceous earth or whatever it's called and going from there. So, I mean, you can just, I don't know if the camera's picking up, there's just ants crawling around everywhere. But yeah, he's great. Eats earthworms, mealworms, superworms. I'll put fruits and veggies out here for him. You name it, he eats it. I'll pick up a lot of snails after it rains, and he'll munch down on snails, which is great because he'll keep his beak trimmed. The ants don't seem to bother him, but they bother me. I don't like ants in my animal's enclosure. So, yeah, anyway, so I'm thinking actually about moving his enclosure over there. come this spring, so he might not be here by the shed anymore. I have a ton of invasive lizards. It's an invasive brown anole, Bahama anole maybe. I just saw one hopping over here, and they don't seem to bother me too much because they eat ants, and I'm trying to get rid of these dang ants. So there's one over there on the wall. But yeah, water dishes are dirty. Again, it's been raining. I'm gonna clean all this out and feed these guys. I just figured I had my phone in my pocket and I'd make a video. This is my female. She's the most personable of my 3 adults. And we're gonna go inside here and see what else we got going on. Alright, so if anybody used to watch my older videos, you remember my hatchling redfoots. Unfortunately, the first one I ever got, the first tortoise I ever owned, a month or so ago, we found him dead. He was having some trouble, like flipping over constantly, just out of nowhere. And I don't know if he had some sort of disease or problem, and he really, I don't know, it hit me hard. I've since then decided I'm no longer gonna be buying any hatchling tortoises. But these 2 that I got from Southern Reptiles out of Florida are doing great. They've quadrupled in size. I've had them since July 2018. I mean, this guy's a beast. He's such a pig. His name's actually Piggy. And then inside here, we have what her name was originally Runt, but she's not a whole lot smaller than Piggy. They're doing great. You know, like I said, the first one I had, who was from a local store, you know, a year into it, ended up passing away. Not sure why. But I'm planning to take these 2 guys along with the 3 adults outside to my reptile specialist vet here, probably before winter time, just for a checkup, and you know, get her opinion on what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, what I could be doing better. These guys are going to stay inside still for the winter. I'm hoping to move them outside next year if they're going to be a little bit bigger. Probably not with the adults, but you know, we'll see what happens. And then over here we still have Harvey the Gulf Coast toad. He hangs out under his cork bark and just destroys crickets, superworms, whatever else I can put in here. I know he needs a bigger space. I keep saying I'm going to, but as little as he moves, it hasn't been as high on my priority list as some of the other things. But he's doing well. I'm looking to see if I can find him in here for you. There's one of his crickets. Oh, there he is in the back. I don't know if the phone's gonna... I'm filming on my phone right now. I don't know if it's gonna pick him up at all, but he is a gelatinous blob. If you remember from my earlier videos, we've rescued him during Hurricane Harvey, and he was smaller than my thumbnail. Now he's the size of a baseball. So he's great. You know, whatever I upgrade him to, I'm hoping it can still fit right here. He is the easiest pet to take care of if you're looking for something a little different that's kind of hands-off but interesting to watch. Highly recommend a Gulf Coast toad. I picked him up outside, you know, out of some storm water that was washing him away during Hurricane Harvey, but I have seen them for sale occasionally. And then we're going to go take a sneak peek at one last thing. Alright, so I'm not going to tell you what's eventually going to go in here. You can take a guess. But right now I have 6 or 7 fire red endlers. And, you know, the tank's been cycling a little bit. Probably going to keep it bare bottom. And then one of the other hints I'll give you is that I'm trying to keep the water pretty cool. But it's 20 gallon long, and here shortly I'm going to pick up something I've been interested in for a while. Not really interested in the fish aspect of it, and what I end up putting in here is you're not going to have any tank mates. I'm sure some of y'all probably can take a pretty good guess. So, but anyway, 20 gallon long, just some, I got some other stuff coming, but this is kind of where it's at right now. And I'm pretty excited for what we're going to have in here. But anyway, I'm gonna do better to try and make videos more often, and keep the channel at least somewhat updated. I got a lot of updates that we didn't go over about animals that we lost or, you know, moved elsewhere. But yeah, so that's what we currently have, and we're getting ready to get a new one. We'll make a video whenever that happens and kind of keep y'all updated on the tortoises, and if we get any eggs, and, you know, kind of our winter preparation plans. Is we have mild winters here in Houston, so they'll be fine in the garage with some, you know, heat, some additional heating and artificial lighting and things like that. But thanks everybody who's watched the channel. I saw I had 197 subscribers. That's amazing. I never thought I'd have more than like a few, which was mostly family and my grandma. But yeah, appreciate everything and everybody who watches. Thanks.